Does PFL have a problem at the moment with them losing future stars and also current stars of their divisions? PFL has lost a lot of fighters recently to drug testing, and also Brendan Loughnane, one of their most popular fighters at featherweight, just got kicked out of the competition. He will not be fighting in the tournament anymore. He has been kicked out because Jesus Pinedo knocked him out in the very first round, and in the process of doing so, knocked out a lot of other great fighters from being in the tournament as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the future of PFL does look in 2023. And do you think Francis Ngannou's deal really could be what saves them from what could be a bit of a nightmare year because of losing so many fighters to Brendan Loughnane, for example, losing his fight, and also really bad drug testing losses as well? They lost one of their champions due to drug testing. So I'm going to talk about a lot in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think about the PFL? What do you think about the PFL's current season? Because in my opinion, this is an opinion video. PFL's 2023 season is not looking very good. They just lost Brendan Loughnane, who is probably one of the favorites to win the whole thing, maybe aside from Movlid Kabuliev, but they had fought in the past, and that would have been a big rematch if they were able to get that to the finals. But Jesus Pinedo ruined that plan, and they've lost so many fighters from drug testing as well. And there's some big names in here, you know what I mean? So I'm going to make sure you guys can read it. Krzysztof Jotko, out of PFL due to a drug test. Muhammad Fakhreddin, Will Fleury, Thiago Santos, a big PFL signing. From the UFC, ranked fighter in the UFC, huge signing for the PFL. And not only was Thiago Santos done, so was the 2022 PFL light heavyweight champion Rob Wilkinson. That is insane. And here's another little thing about as well. Thiago Santos was done. Was he on something when he was in the UFC potentially and it was never picked up? Who really knows? But I guess hindsight's always 2020 with Rob Wilkinson, because I guess in hindsight, this guy bulked up massively in a very quick period of time to move up to 205 pounds. But hey, that is what it is. But yeah, let me know what you think about PFL, because PFL at the moment seems like they might be struggling a little bit, but thankfully they do have their massive signing, their big breakthrough signing in Francis Ngannou to maybe help them out a little bit. Because if you do look at their next week's episode, next part of the tournament, who's their star? You know, who's their star on this tournament? You know, like, is it Ante Daliha? Ante Daliha, as much as PFL probably wants him to be a big name, he's not that big of a name. And Larissa Pacheco, I don't think Larissa Pacheco is as big of a name as PFL kind of wants her to be as well. So it kind of seems like Brendan Loughnane was probably one of their biggest and most popular fighters, aside from maybe even Rob Wilkinson and Thiago Santos, you know what I mean? And they've gone. Rob Wilkinson, Thiago Santos is gone. Brendan Loughnane just got knocked out of the tournament. He's gone. Like, what does PFL have left? It's kind of getting a little bit worried now. Like what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to rely on Olivier Aubin-Mercier to kind of do something for them. Like, because Sada Busai isn't going to be, like, bringing big numbers. You know, Shane Burgos, I guess, is a pretty big name. Actually, that's going to be a fun fight. It's going to be a fun fight. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. I think this is a very big, important kind of concept to talk about. PFL's 2023 season is not looking good. They've lost about half of their roster to drug testing, especially at 205 pounds. And the reason why that's so significant is PFL's roster is very small, man. Like, they've got these tournaments going on. Their roster, you got to consider, like, UFC, they've got like 80 lightweights on their roster. I would say overall, PFL probably doesn't even have 80 fighters on their roster, you know what I mean? And UFC's probably got hundreds of them, maybe even 1,000, and PFL sitting here with about 80 fighters on their roster. It's very, very interesting how this has kind of worked out for PFL. Very badly, lost a lot of fighters due to drug testing, lost a fighter in Brendan Loughnane due to a big KO loss. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think that PFL 2023 could be on its way down, but one thing that could save it, and I think this could be massive for the PFL, and this could be a separate video. Is this why Dana White wants to do Tyson Fury versus John Jones so badly? Apparently, Deontay Wilder said that he is very... Well, he didn't... This isn't apparent. He said this on the PFL broadcast. Deontay Wilder is very interested in fighting Francis Ngannou, in boxing and in MMA. Boxing first, MMA later, and on top of fighting Francis Ngannou, in boxing and wants to fight in MMA. Well, you know what I mean. And Deontay Wilder seems close with PFL. That could be why Dana White's trying to get this Jon Jones versus Tyson Fury fight. Because let's be real, Jon Jones versus Tyson Fury is a bigger fight than Francis Ngannou versus Deontay Wilder. That's why the UFC wants to do it. It's insane, dude. I think this is like, it's crazy how smart the UFC is with business. They must have known that this was happening and they're trying to one them up. So the UFC will probably do no matter what they can do to one up the PFL and do Tyson Fury versus Jon Jones. And PFL are left with, Deontay Wilder versus Francis Ngannou, which is a massive fight. But is it as big as Jon Jones versus Tyson Fury? No. No, it's not, dude. This is insane. It's crazy to think about. But let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. It's kind of just a video idea I just come up with on the way home when I was driving home. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one.